Okay, in terms of if you're looking at enterprises, data storage has been around for 30-40 years today, and starting from mainframe world all the way to the open system. If you look at the problems in the enterprises, you have to look at scalability. Scalability has been a big issue today. Majority of the traditional vendors has brought in a lot of silos in the industry. What I mean by silos is, okay, one storage does one thing. Especially if you're looking at, okay, SAN, it's a block-based storage for application, like OLTP kind of application like Oracle or SAP. These kind of silos has built on. One such silo is a SAN. Another such silo is called as a NAS, where you have file-based access for your home directories or engineering kind of application. And there's another kind of storage which just brought in, or people say is called worm. Okay, worm stands for write once, read many kind of storage. And there are other encryption-based requirement which has different silos in the enterprise today. And all these silos put together has actually made the customer stuck into this kind of problem, where I say this is called as a scalability issue. This is one of the problem in the enterprise with storage. The second one is how easy is to move forward. New technologies come in, new CPUs come in, new memories come in. Can I scale faster? You today cannot. The reason for it, you need a forklift upgrade for everything. What I mean by forklift is you have certain set of disks, you have certain set of CPUs and memory inside. You cannot swap just the controller or CPU or motherboard and put in a new one. The problem exists with the monolithic arrays. These are pretty much kind of problems which you face. And say if there is a customer who is running their application on SAN, okay, they would like to choose a NAS for their engineering application. Immediately the IT manager looks at his budget and orders for a new NAS, right, for his engineering application. What happens is he consumes a particular floor space in the data center. There was a SAN array before. Now he went and procured a new NAS array, and he occupied space, he occupied power, he occupied cooling. What was the resultant? You actually have both the arrays today. You have to manage it separately. It's an isolated management. You have different set of floor spaces, power requirements. With the technologies of going green, you can never achieve it with adding on silos. And another issue which you also face today is backup. When you have so many different storage, management becomes an issue. How many systems can I log in to manage? Some user asks for Oracle, give me say 2 terabyte. Engineering file application requires say 3 terabyte. And say for example one of the home directory requires 100 MB. You would log into 3 different storage to achieve certain things, to make your application run successful. It actually takes a lot of time to manage it. The second issue with this is how do I manage these efficiently? In terms of how do I take a backup efficiently? Right? When my data is on a primary storage, on a SAN, when my data is on a NAS, I need to have such a huge tape library which actually ensures heterogeneous operation along with all other storage. The other important factor is interoperability. When I have so many different storage of silos, how interoperable it is to different kind of application. A unified storage is a storage which does SAN, NAS, compliance and disaster recovery all at the same time. It's one storage to manage, one operating system. The way you manage this particular storage is just pretty simple, pretty easy. You just log in, you manage your SAN, you manage your NAS, you manage your application. Everything is pretty much concentrated on this unified storage. Okay, unified storage simplifies enterprises. What unified storage helps you to do is easy to scale, easy to actually pretty much provision your storage in terms of whether it's SAN or NAS or whatever kind of requirements you have in your enterprise. For unified storage, you actually have more advantages compared to disadvantage. If you're looking at advantage, it simplifies your enterprise. The way I mean by simplify is easy to manage, easy to provision, easy to get your application up and running very fast. If you're looking at other kind of training kind of requirements, when you have one such storage, unified storage, you just log in and you're being trained to do as much as you can, as much your unified storage can do. So it's pretty much reduces training and in terms of manpower as well. So it simplifies your task. For example, one of the major vendor like Cisco switches, right, on network, you just log into any of your unified network switch, it actually look and feel is the same. So the important key message of advantage, the look and feel of unified storage is identical wherever you log in and however you provision. So it's very, very simple in order to manage your enterprise and scale very fast. If you're looking at disadvantages today, unified storage doesn't support mainframe. It's one of the disadvantages today. Otherwise, in terms of unified storage requirements, today people may consider really high performance requirement, very high in terms of millions of IOPS. Then unified architecture is not there yet today, like your monolithic array. In terms of interoperability issue, the interoperability actually is cut down, or rather it has reduced much more than before. Previously you had a SAN array, you had a NAS array, you have a compliance based arrays. Now you have a unified appliance. So in terms of support matrices, in terms of operating system where a vendor need to verify, it has reduced much more. Previously you have an appliance for different things and you have to check your metrics for each one of them. Today the vendor can easily work on the same operating system to get what a customer needs. Every enterprise customer is a unified storage customer. The way I tell this is because, say for example, there is a home directory requirement or engineering application requirement. This is pretty much for any enterprise. They also have OLTP application like Oracle or SQL or Exchange. So these OLTP application runs on SAN, right, where it requires an block-based requirement. So majority of home directories and engineering kind of application runs on NFS or SIFS kind of requirement. So that uses NAS kind of requirement. And you also have certain compliance requirement for you to preserve data for like 7 years or 10 years or 20 years. Then you need a worm kind of appliance. So all these put together in one appliance helps as a unified storage, helps every enterprise customer today. Okay, in terms of forklift upgrade for unified storage, you really don't have the issues which you earlier had with the traditional storage. What happens with your unified storage is of a more modular approach. So the CPUs and memory are in a specific location, what we call it as a head, and the rest of the disk remains isolated from the head. So if you want to do an upgrade, just remove the head, put in a new head which has a more powerful CPU and more powerful memory, and that's it. So there's no forklift upgrade required.